I'm Dan, I'm 42 years old and I've been living with heart failure for 6 years. I was diagnosed in 2012 after being misdiagnosed for a number of months. Initially my symptoms were quite mild and the GP was saying that I had stress and depression and anxiety, so they were treating me for that at the beginning, but none of the medication seemed to help, so eventually the symptoms got worse and I ended up collapsing at home and being rushed into the local hospital where they did a CAT scan and found out that I'd got an enlarged heart. From then on I was transferred to Papworth for a transplant review, which luckily I didn't have to have the transplant at that time. They managed to stabilise me and I was sent home, where it's taken a fair few years to recover to the point where I am now. Prior to diagnosis, when I think back, I find it difficult to understand why I wasn't diagnosed earlier. I was displaying some of the classic symptoms of heart failure, but the only thing I can think of is, with being 36 at the time, I guess the GPs weren't looking for heart failure in somebody so young. I do think that a greater awareness with GPs around heart failure can help get a quicker diagnosis for people. When I was given the diagnosis of heart failure, I remember not knowing what it was. None of my family knew what it was and I was really confused. It's a really difficult time when you're first diagnosed with heart failure, but I think you've got to give yourself time to understand your condition and give yourself time to recover, and then things can get easier.